So did you know that you can play an E major chord like this? But you can also play it like this. But you can also play an A major chord like this. Or you can play it like... Okay, that's enough of that. I can't give you the whole lesson in the intro. Today we're looking at how to play some beautiful chord voicings with your typical chords on the guitar. My name's Jesse Glick. This is a 5-minute Monday. Let's throw 5 minutes on the timer. So in this lesson, we're going to take a look at some chord tricks you can do in E major because it's such a beautiful key for guitars. I mean, check this out. And we're using E major because with the high B and E strings, there are so many opportunities to play open voice chords all the way across the neck. You're not limited to just playing your cowboy chords up here. So for example, if we just take the diatonic chords of E major, not to get too into the theory with the word diatonic, by the way, it just means the chords relative to the scale in that key. In this case, the E major scale. We have E major, F sharp minor, G sharp minor, A major, B major, C sharp minor, E flat diminished, and E major. Now all of that sounds kind of basic and you're probably familiar with just playing those bar chords, but if we take that exact same scale example and just use the high B and E strings ringing out the whole time, you get a really interesting and nice flavor to it. So that would sound like this. And what's awesome is once you get those chords under your fingers, you can start moving them around and just improvising in that. So for example, I'll just take the shapes I just played and kind of play them randomly across the neck, and you get some really nice pleasing sounds like this. Those are not the only amazing chord voicings you can play in E major though. So instead of playing an E major chord like this, why not play something like this? That's an E add 9. Or you could do an E major 9. That sounds much better than an E major. Now what about A major? We've all learned how to play an A major chord like this. But what if we spice it up a little bit, like this? That sounds really nice. Or like this. Whew, that's really nice. So maybe with these really cool chord voicings, we can take a simple chord progression and spice it up a little bit. So if I have a chord progression that's just 2 chords, E major to A major, it might sound like this. And there's nothing wrong with this, but it just doesn't sound that appealing to the ear, especially if you've been listening to the guitar for a long time. So why don't we take some of those chord voicings I just showed you and make a progression out of it? So instead of E major, we'll play that E add 9, and then go to our E major 9, just taking our pinky down half a step, and then we'll go to that A major 7 voicing, and then down to the 6th. So that might sound something like this. If you ask me, that sounds a lot nicer than just E major to A major. And the beauty is, we can just play E major pentatonic over this all day and get some really nice solos. So take those ideas for yourself. And remember, on the guitar, there are so many ways to play the same chord. So if you're stuck in a rut playing the same old stuff all the time, look up other ways that you can play simple chords, and it might inspire a whole new song out of it. So if you're interested in learning more stuff like this, reach out to me at jesseglickmusic@gmail.com. I'm teaching private online Zoom lessons right now that are going super well. But all that being said, don't forget...